So today we have two stories of rejection, of judgment, and of grace. The first rejection is that the tenants of the vineyard and the people who are invited to the wedding banquet first time off, they reject their position, they reject their invitation. The tenants, by refusing to listen to the servants that are sent to them, the people who are invited by the banquet by not wanting to go, they reject, if you like, God. And that's symbolic of what Israel have done for the whole of the Old Testament, really. They've turned their back on God's messengers. And Jesus is saying, not only are you going to turn your back on God's messengers, you're also going to turn your back on God's own son, which, by the way, is me. You're going to throw me out of the vineyard and kill me. And then what? The next thing is there's a judgment coming for that. God is not a God who's indifferent to our mess and our brokenness and the way that we reject him and we hurt and reject other people. He's a God of justice. And Jesus is saying there's a day of reckoning that is coming for those of you who have turned your back and have rejected and hurt the Lord. Justice is on its way. And then the third thing is the story of grace, which is he's saying as a result of the way that Israel, you've treated me, God is actually going to respond with even more compassion and even more grace to the world. That the doors of the wedding banquet are going to be thrown open to all these people that had no chance of ever getting in. The vineyard is going to be given to tenants who beforehand they probably didn't, new tenants who are going to be loyal to the master and loyal to the son. And in that, you get the gospel all the way through. The journey that Jesus has been going on through this gospel, Matthew, is he's come to Israel. Israel reject him, so eventually he comes to us, those who are outside, who aren't Jewish. And for everyone who accepts him and comes to know him, there's a place at a banquet table for the whole of eternity. You and I, we're going to be hanging out at a wedding banquet forever together. And the one little lesson that comes right at the end is the guy who gets into the banquet and he's not wearing the right clothes. And I think there's something of a warning from Jesus for all of us. It's a bit like what we heard yesterday, that our behaviour actually does matter. We can never, ever, ever earn a place in God's kingdom. We can never earn a place in the vineyard. It's something that's given to us freely. And that's something that gives me such relief and such hope every single day. And yet at the same time, God does care about how we live and how we choose to act. He's a holy God and he wants us to reflect him to the world. So remember today, we're part of God's family because of his grace. But also, there's a place for us choosing to behave, to speak, to think and to act in a way that reflects the God of love that we know.